Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Mancuso from the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce here with Connection Point, and our guest today is Dr. David Johnson, president of the Johnston Community College. Welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Well, we're looking forward to getting to talk to you today. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
Just to kind of introduce yourself to all folks here in Johnston County.
Okay. Yeah, be glad to do that. I am not a Johnston Countyan, if that's a word, but I did grow up in Raleigh. And so with the exception of about 20 years when I was I and my family were in the Virginia system, we lived in Piedmont, North Carolina. My family is somewhat from Johnston County. I still have some Johnsons around that belong to our family. And so I just was thrilled to have the opportunity to come back home. And that's what this has been for me. Has been home. I felt like JCC was home the instant I stepped on campus. And you coming from a different place too may be able to say the same thing, but I just feel like it was family all over again.
Yes.
And so pleased to be able to fit into this environment.
Well, we're glad to have you here, and I share your sentiment coming from outside as well. As soon as we really landed here, it felt like it is home. It is home, yeah, for sure.
That's right.
So tell us, what got you originally interested in higher education?
Well, when I was in undergraduate school, I was an education major. I was a music education major. I was feeling as if I were answering a call to music ministry, and did serve as a minister of music in Baptist churches across the Piedmont, North Carolina for about 10 years. But that whole time that I was at Campbell, and then I got married, and my wife's father-in-law was in higher education and administration. And he and I just began to talk, and he mentored me into achieving this opportunity for myself, something I'd sort of been gnawing at me all along, and I'd wanted to delve into. I thought I wanted to be in a denominational school like Campbell. That's where I was. But that never worked out, but community college did. And people often ask me, well, what in the world made you want to change, or could allow you to change from a ministry concept philosophy to a higher education administration? And it's not so much the higher education part, but it's the community college aspect of what we do is so similar and parallel to the sacred ministry. Second chances, opportunities that abound, all those kinds of things, and helping people is what we do at the community college. And so it was just a cinch. I didn't have any problem making the transfer from full-time ministry into higher education.
Wonderful. So we had some folks give us some questions that they wanted us to ask, and so you've answered a lot of the personal questions, although we had one is, what's your favorite restaurant or place to go here in Johnston County?
Thank goodness. I learned a long time ago not to play favorites, so I am not about to say what my favorite restaurant is. But I will say that growing up, and you might can imagine this, growing up, my favorite band was Chicago. And it is still, in my opinion, the greatest band that has ever existed. So there again, I was, in addition to being a voice major, I played trumpet all through high school. And so the brass aspect of things and the way Chicago presented itself, I was planning to see them this spring when they were going to be in the area. But some other things took precedence.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to see them again soon for sure. We also had a bunch of questions about the college. So I know you guys are just preparing to bring students back to campus. Can you tell us a little bit about the prep work and what's going on at JCC?
Yeah, thank you. We've been working all summer to get prepared for the fall semester. The students do come back on the 10th, which is Monday. That is a week earlier than it was last year. And then we're eliminating the fall break. So they will finish by I think the 3rd of December. And so we're hoping that abbreviated, or not abbreviated, but that accelerated schedule will help in students being successful during this COVID experience that we're in. Most of our classes will be online. There will be some what we call hybrid, where it's a mixture between online and face-to-face. Some of our classes, as you can imagine, cannot be provided online. For example, how do you teach welding online? You've got to do that in a lab. Same with our health science programs. The clinicals are required to be done face-to-face and live. And so there, we will take every precaution and have in our planning to keep both faculty and students safe during this time. So our semester is shorter. Our classes are a little bit smaller. If they meet face-to-face, we have downsized the caps so that we can socially distance. And we're actually seeing positive results in our enrollment for the fall by what we've been doing.
And actually, that was one of the next questions I see is what's the enrollment look like? We're hearing lots of stories in the news about different schools going back, and was just kind of wondering what that effect was on JCC.
Right. Well, the major difference in the community college and the four-year institutions is residence. We do not provide residential facilities for our students. They're all commuters. And so that takes a whole element of exposure to COVID out of the equation for us. And so we will continue to monitor social distancing pretty heavily. I've had several conversations with folks that we have all got to be vigilant in confronting, if necessary, students and even employees who need to have a face mask on. And we are requiring face masks. You have to have a face mask in class from start to finish. If you just absolutely cannot, we will refer you to our Students Success Center, and they will work with you in order to try to find a different option that will allow you to still receive that course, but do it maybe without a face mask, like online or something of that nature. I am continuing to authorize our employees to work from home from time to time as appropriate. And we have a plan, and our plan is rolling out. I heard one of my president friends said the other day, hoping for something is not a plan for something. And so we have a plan, and with the plan, we've got hope that we're going to survive this situation that we're looking at going into the fall.
I know also last year there was a lot of construction projects on campus, and you guys did a phenomenal amount of work. Can you share with us some of the things that have come online, like the Student Success Center?
Sure. We opened the Student Success Center last fall. It's been now 1 year in existence. I credit the Student Success Center a great deal for our enrollment growth last year. Last year, we had budget FTE growth for the first time in 8 years. Now, we've had enrollment growth, headcount growth every year. And what I've tried to get some of our funding agencies to understand is we're having more students. They're just registering for fewer courses, which then reduces our budget, but we've still got to take care of all the students. And so it's a little bit of a catch-22. So yes, the Student Success Center has all of the student services under one roof, if you will. And it's a beautiful facility. I would encourage anybody to come by and just take a look at some point, wear a mask, but come by and say hello. All of our advising a lot of our advising goes on in there. We have a career center there. We have a testing center there. We have computer lab that students can come in and use for applications and filling out their financial aid paperwork. We have staff who are representing all of those areas. That it's just a one-stop shop for our students to come from start to finish. With the exception of going to class, you can get everything you need at JCC right through that Student Success Center. So that was a part of the TART building renovation. We renovated the lobby area. This is a beautiful new facility. We are still waiting to finish the Paul A. Johnston Auditorium. We ran into a lot of bureaucratic red tape. It should have been finished a year ago, but it's just now getting started. We have new seats in there. We'll have new carpet in there, new track lighting for our steps, new drapery and rigging, and refinish of our stage. So it's going to be a beautiful facility. Then looking to the future, we're in the design phase now because of the wonderful bond that was passed by the county a couple of years ago to build an engineering building. Our engineering program is just going gangbusters, and it's not just in enrollment, it's producing quality students. We've had, over the past 3 years, 10 good night scholars leave us at graduation and go to NC State into their engineering program. That speaks volumes as to the quality of programming we have. So this fall, we will start site preparation for a new engineering building, and we are really looking forward to that. One of the things I was talking with my board chair about today is I hope that I get a chance to see our planning come to fruition about an expansion into Clayton. We are losing many, many students out of Johnston County because of location, and primarily out of the western and northern parts of the county. And so I am working diligently with the powers that be at the county and in the town and different places to try to find a place in which we can and on which we can create a campus for JCC in Clayton. We feel like it's time, it's needed, and we're not able to support our students in that area because of lack of facilities and space.
All right. So one of the other questions that was here is, and I think you touched on some of this, what new and exciting programs are headed in this year?
Well, there are several, and I hope we will have a chance to get to them all. But over the next 2 years anyway, we have a new teacher preparation program that's an associate degree that's been approved by the state. It is building on a program that we developed with NC State a couple of years ago about how to home grow our own public school teachers for Johnston County. And so NC State came to us, said we would love to work with you. So we are starting in the high school with dual enrollment programs to line students up to finish the associate degree with us in teacher preparation. Then they're guaranteed admission into NC State. They would finish their didactic instruction at NC State. They would come back to Johnston County to do their student teaching, and then hopefully would, because of that, be given preferential treatment to stay in Johnston County. Well, that's going statewide. We sort of piloted that for the past 2 years, and that's a great opportunity, not only for Johnston County, but for the entire state. We have had an LPN program in the distant past. We are reconstituting that program. Supply chain management is another area that we're working on. Digital media is so popular and important these days. We're working on that new program. Kin to our engineering program, we've also created a mechanical engineering program, which is an applied science, meaning it's not a transfer engineering program, but it's training individuals, teaching individuals how to think like engineers so that when they go to work, they can help those places of employment solve the kinds of problems that they're being faced with. And then one other I can think of is that we're creating a health and fitness curriculum. And so a lot is on our plate for the next 2 years, and we're looking forward to being able to serve the community with different approach to our educational opportunities.
Well, that's just phenomenal. I mean, the work that you do there day in and day out is just, it blows me away every time I see it, and can't thank you guys enough for everything you're doing. So if I'm a student today, what makes me want to go to JCC versus another place? Tell us a little bit about that journey that somebody takes.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with some of the things I mentioned early on about the family. We were in a session this afternoon with a brand new trustee doing an orientation, and I played a clip of a previous video we did for publication. And the student led off by saying, I commuted here from Fayetteville every day because JCC was a family to me. And so I think that's a big part of it. Our structure is different a little bit in that everybody is somewhat cross-trained in order to help students. We have eliminated as many silos as we can to make it as simple and easy on the students as possible, so they're not being sent from one end of campus to the other. And then our one stop in the Student Success Center takes a lot of pressure off students of trying to figure out their way and where they need to be and what they need to do. And then I can't say enough about our faculty and our staff in terms of their commitment to allowing students to be successful. That is one of the things that drew me here after I got here, was the understanding that our faculty weren't gatekeepers in their discipline areas. They truly believed in the students that were in front of them, and they were doing everything possible to help them be successful, as opposed to weeding them out. And so I think that speaks volumes of the quality of experience that a student can get here. Plus, I tell all of our employees, it does not matter what job you have, what you do here at the college. Everything that is done is in support of and has an impact on student learning. And so that we've begun to embrace that more and more. And I think in embracing that, the students are seeing that. And so we hear students from time to time say, I've been in another institution and I love it here, and this is why. And those are some of the reasons.
Good. So first of all, thank you again for taking the time to talk to us today. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the folks here in Johnston County about?
Well, let's see. I had thought about that because I knew that question was coming and I've already answered it. But so I don't have anything additional that I can think of other than we have had good enrollment for this fall. Again, the head count is up, and the FTE, which is what we're funded on, is just a little bit north of where we were last fall, which is good. So anytime we can at least stay level and not decline, we're in good shape. And we're in the process of registering and advising, and classes start on Monday. And we're looking forward to a great opportunity for student learning and success here at JCC for the fall.
Well, thank you. I can't thank you enough for your leadership and everything that all the team at JCC does for us here, especially in workforce, in helping to build that pipeline for the future for us. So thank you so much, and thank you again for taking the time to join us today.
It's a pleasure, Mike, and you all have been good partners with us as well. I send the accolades and the sentiment back to you. Part of my trustee orientation this afternoon was playing the chamber clip about JoCo Works, and I think that's just a tremendous testimony to the way that we all work together in Johnston County to provide that pathway and that pipeline for employment to our students. So I hope COVID will leave us alone and we can get back to that. I'm so disappointed we're not able to do it this fall, and we probably won't be able to do it in the spring, but hopefully by next fall we'll be able to get back to JoCo Works.
Yep, for sure. We're working real hard to put together some type of virtual experience for the students this year, so we don't skip a year. But we sure want to get back to that hands-on on the JCC campus. So a lot of folks working on that. Thank you again today for being with us, and we appreciate all the things you do for us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Mike, for the invitation.
Have a great day.
Thank you.